what should I be doing? Should I be on all the apps? Should I be Instagram DMing men? Like, what should I be doing to open up my candidate pool of like great men?
Hello, namaste, welcome to the Zarna Garg family podcast where all 5 Gargs are in the house, and today we have a very, very special guest. It's a topic that's gonna get you heated, that's gonna get you angry. You've been wondering about it. We have America's premier #1 matchmaker in the house. He's gonna tell us what are the trends in matchmaking, what's going on in the dating world, what are the guys looking for, what are the girls looking for, what are the gay dudes looking for. Let's get right into it without wasting any time. Let me go around introducing everybody. My husband of 26 years, Wall Street veteran Anip Garg, my daughter who just finished college, Zoya Garg, my son who's in college, Bridge Garg, my middle schooler, Veer Garg, and our very, very special guest, the founder and CEO of Mohan Matchmaking. People, if you haven't checked out Mohan Matchmaking, go now. Don't waste any time. Please welcome to the room Anip Patel. Everybody clap it up for Anip Patel.
Thank you guys for having me.
Anip.
Thank you.
Welcome, Anip. You are America's premier matchmaker. You match billionaires' kids, millionaires' kids, and all the whole spectrum.
No poor kids, only billionaires and millionaires.
No,
Let's
no,
stop
no.
there.
That's not true. That's not true. Anip has
Anip, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you match.
I mean, if they're my private clients, they're paying a premium. So, I mean, we consider them what they are.
No, but you look like people sign up for a very low price, right? Your private client might like somebody who's signed up with you.
Of course, yeah.
Right?
You could be on the roster for less than 50 cents a day. That anyone could hopefully afford.
Wow. That's amazing.
Didi, you should join the roster.
Hold on, wait. I do have a question. So, Mom has alluded multiple times that she has systems working in background that I don't know about. Have you am I a private client of yours?
Your mom has made a payment of some sort.
Yes, that's right, Anip. That's right.
I knew it. She's never admitted that.
But I
But
don't
Zoya,
need to
he
admit
also
it.
thinks you're unmatchable.
Your
Why
mom.
did he say that?
Your
Ask him.
mom has had 100 profiles sent her, and she's rejected all of them minus 2 this week. So they are coming your way.
Oh my god.
Yes, because there are very, very strict criteria. This is why we use a matchmaker, because we
Very
want
true.
to get.
Why not send the 100 matches to Didi and then let
No.
her decide? But
You never let the kid get involved in their own matches, right? Anip, come on, speak on it.
I usually don't allow parents to be a part of the matchmaking process because
Okay.
that means it's 2 people talking to me. I charge double when the parent wants to be in the convo. There's like 5% of kids who want their parents in the matchmaking meetings, and I don't do that. You are an outlier. Because when the parents are involved, that's double the work, right? You have to approve by the parents and the kid, and they all have differences. So when the parents want to be involved, I charge for 2 people.
And do you have people who pay for it?
Of course, yes. Parents
Because
that are a
because-
certain level will pay.
because parents want to be involved, right?
They do, yes.
Yeah.
but
see?
Didi, why are you letting that happen? Like, do you want her to be
I
involved that
didn't
badly?
even know I was a private client, Bridge. I did not know I was seeing somebody as of a week ago. So I don't
No.
know how this was happening.
No,
without-
she was not seeing
Your mom
anybody
left
for.
that out. No,
Anip,
sure.
she was not seeing anybody for the record.
All right, we might have to reevaluate your case.
So what are you seeing? Anip, what are the big trends in matchmaking right now in America? What are the guys looking for? What are the girls looking for?
Guys are looking for 2 things. Bridge, Veer, what do you think they are? 2 things only.
Attractiveness?
Okay, that's one.
Hot and will do what they want, like some sort of submissiveness.
Like caretaker.
No, well, no, not that one. The 2 are looks and age.
Age.
Oh.
That's the highest.
okay.
85%. If you meet that criteria, the guy will be willing to talk to you.
Look
Wait,
at
so-
What do you mean by
age.
age? What do you mean?
Do they
by
want
age?
younger or older?
If you're over 32, they want younger. Under 32, they're okay dating older. And I'm not talking about everyone. Keep in mind, this is 90% of the people.
90%. He's
I'm not talking
like, I
about-
don't want to crush anybody's dream.
I don't
But
know.
just so we are aware,
90%
I
of
mean,
it-
did you just say 32 to be politically correct, and you really want
No,
to say
that's just
27?
from our data. 90% of men, Indian men over the age of 40, will not marry you if you're the same age.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me there's a math component to matchmaking?
There is. It's called math making in a way.
Ani, but why are 40-year-old Indian men single? I thought that most Indian men marry young, right?
Some are divorced, right? Some just haven't found the right one. They're looking for someone particular and they still haven't found it.
Wait, so can I ask a
let's
question?
say- yeah, go ahead, Bridge. Ask.
Wait, so I have a lot of questions, first of all,
I
for
have
two
so
different
many, too.
reasons.
I have so
A
Okay.
is the matchmaking side, but also B, because I know you, I'm really curious to hear about the business side of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start with the business questions and then get back into matchmaking
Sure.
later. So obviously, I've heard from my mom and many other people that matchmaking is a very, very difficult industry to make money in. But
Very.
somehow you kind of captured the entire
Yeah.
South Asian market of all of it.
Yeah.
So what have been like the major difficulties in doing that? And what
Okay.
have been like just kind of overall describe that journey?
Yeah, of course. Matchmaking is very difficult. People think it's easy. We, on average, our base price is $1,000. You get 3 matches, meaning you have to like the person and they have to like you back. Seems simple. You think you could do it on an app. Easy, right? Why would you pay
Yeah.
$1,000? That process takes us 50 to 100 hours. And all of our employees are in America, and we're paying them top dollar to be matchmakers. So we technically lose money on certain clients. Like we'll spend 100 hours on Zoya X. Let's say average rate is $40 an hour, right? That's $4,000, but we're only charging 1,000 for 3 matches. So we only accept 20% of the people who apply. So daily 50 to 100 people apply. We accept 20%. Like, are you gonna be a candidate where we'll find you love, or are you not? If we can't find you what you're looking for, we're just gonna tell you sorry, thank you for applying. We won't.
Oh
be
my
It is
Bridge,
true.
yes, and
But
I've
can you
seen-
imagine getting that? Like, what do you say to that? Are you just like,
No,
you
some
just
people-
accept loneliness? Like, what do you say?
No, like some people's standards are incredibly high, which is great, very ambitious of them. But I don't want to set wrong expectations and take someone's money. You know?
But
Anip,
what,
did
like,
you
give
see
us
the
an
film
example.
Materialist? Did you see the
Anip,
movie?
give us an example of somebody whose standards were crazy, and you were like, you know what, I don't want to accept.
Of course. So yesterday I had a client. It was a female. She was 36. She was making roughly $150,000. She lived in
Wow.
a very small town, not a big city, so I won't name the town. These were her requests. Some are valid, some are not valid. One, he cannot support Trump. Okay, we got
Okay.
it. Political views, let's one. Second one, he cannot be an only child. Okay, maybe she had a bad
Okay.
experience. Okay. Second, he had to be at least 6 foot tall. She's 5'1". She's 5'1". He had to be at least 6 foot, which is still a little hard because average men for brown men is 5'8", right?
Mhm.
The next thing she had is, like I said, he must move to her small town.
Oh,
He must
wow.
make over $1 million. Again, it is all okay. You could have these ambitious, so whatever. We let these go. We have all of these people. We have all of these 6
Oh
foot
my
millionaire,
God.
big city. We have all of that. But
Okay.
now, what is she bringing to the table? Right? Is she lenient with the state she lives in? Is she tall? Will the men find her attractive? Like we have to look at all that. She's a very pretty, girl, but we had to reject her because we cannot expect someone 6 foot making $1 million from a big city to move to your small town and to approve of, the way they're physically attracted to you.
And
So that
she's
is-
36. I mean, listen, that's the elephant in the room.
Yeah. And she wants someone no more older than 37. She gave a 1 year
Oh
age
my
plus.
God.
wants-
What are the most
Okay.
What are the most common requests for a girl out of a guy?
Oh, can
So-
I guess?
Well, you won't get it, but sure.
Really? Okay.
I think
Girls
tall is
are
one of
what-
them.
He buy-
I think tall is one of them.
Okay, I think my top 3, if I were to guess based on what other women want, not what I particularly want.
Yeah.
Money, height, and money, height,
height.
and like,
I think older maybe could be one of them.
no, I don't think age is a thing. I think it's like family situation, like whatever the family
Sure.
situation is.
around. But girls have a checklist of at least 13 to 14 items. So we have in our Excel, if they go over a certain amount of words in what they're looking for, if our macro all highlights in red, like this is going to be a difficult case. Some people write paragraphs of what is
And
unacceptable.
men never do that, right? And men never do that.
And max through 2 sentences. I've seen one guy maybe write more than 2 sentences.
I'm literally crying.
I mean, it's the
Anip,
truth.
did you see the movie Materialists? By any
I
chance?
haven't, but I've seen a lot of ads for it. It's about their matchmaker. It's real.
it is.
It's real. But women's criteria is it's a lot. Like, and it's nothing is wrong with that. Women are very particular in what they want. They're sometimes smarter than men. They know exactly what they want. But the list of things that they want, they need height, they need education, they want a big city.
Education.
The guy cannot be living with their parents. They cannot want to live with their parents after marriage. Zarna, what do you have to say about that? Is
I mean,
that
they out.
out?
Bridge and Veer are gonna stay with me when they grow up. Yes.
But
Wait,
what
do
about
you get-
you? Would you have would you have married Shalab if the
No, I
mother-in-law
would
was
not
living
have.
with
No,
Wait,
but I would not have. But I would be a nightmare daughter-in-law.
But
so
we
there's
but
that.
we did not meet in that circumstance either,
Yeah.
in the sense that we met organically, right? I guess we met on a website, but still,
You met on a matchmaking.
But
Yeah.
did you ask, like, I'm never going to live with my in-laws? Was that a part of the
she
question?
never asked me that question.
She never asked
I mean, it was not it was not even on the table. But I guess here, Shalab, because a lot of the parents live in America, right? So it is something you will inevitably have to
Yeah,
address.
because my parents were 5,000 miles away. How would they live?
But a lot of people from India come to America and end up living with their kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait,
Wow.
is the fact that my mom is Zarna Garg, who's obviously one of the most famous, important
Uh-huh.
creators in the South Asian space, is the fact that she's my mom a selling point in my case, or is it a bad point?
It is
It's a
both.
negative.
It's a both because they're like, that's Zarna Garg's daughter. Like, they're famous. They have high expectations. Will we be
No,
able to afford
also,
their
really rich
lifestyle? Like,
families don't want people who are in the public eye, right?
Yeah,
They,
Oh no!
yeah.
families usually don't want, I'm not calling you an influencer, but you could be a creator, let's call it, right? Even though you're a CEO of a company, you could be in the creator bucket, right? Because your life is public.
Oh man!
What about me?
Mom!
What about me? Does that help my case at all? A lot of girls in college will come up to me and be like, "My parents love you."
Same.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I mean, that happens to me all the time too.
Yeah.
right?
It,
Like,
it
my
depends
parents are-
on it depends on the family. A lot of high profile clients of mine, they do not want the person in the public eye. Just because their life has been so
Wow.
secretive. Like, we're talking about my
Yeah.
billionaire clients or multimillionaire clients. These people do not have social media. They have a
Yeah.
very private Instagram account with like 100 followers. I was like, yo, I'm your matchmaker. You need to accept me. Like, I need to see what no, like, are you weird? Are you cool? Like, you gotta accept me. He's like, oh, like, they'll be like, I don't use social media. I was like, well, show me what you have. Like, you have to show me what you're working with. But they're very private people. You're not going to find them on these dating apps. You might not even find them on Raya. They don't want to be shown on websites. Like, that is why people like this choose matchmaking services for discretion.
Wow. For
Okay,
discretion.
cool.
And for my non-Indian followers, I just want you guys to know that he does work with non-Indians as long as you are open to meeting or pairing with an Indian person.
Correct.
Because that
Yeah.
happens a lot too, right? Like among a certain class of people, they're like, we don't actually care if the person's Indian or not. We want
Yeah.
to meet
So
somebody
I have
who
a
lives
question
our
with
kind of
respect to
life.
it, Anip. Is the Indian ethnicity desirable for non-Indian ethnicities in America? Men or women?
I don't think desirable is a word, but I think we see a lot of interracial marriages nowadays, way more than we saw 20 years ago. I think from what I read, 5% of Indian marriages are interracial, which is very low, less than 5%.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, that makes sense.
But I think it's growing. I think it's growing at a very fast pace now.
So wait, okay, I have a question. So I'm dating, right? I'm dating. I really do want to get married in my life. That is something that is important to me. I am very aware of the fact that I'm 22, turning 23, and I need to take advantage of my youth and my prime years. I'm not stupid. I know that's what is important. In fact, it's actually interesting because when I was in undergrad, I felt like my dating life was so boring. Like nobody was asking me out and I was so young or whatever. But ever since I got out of college and I was 22, it's been like way more action. Like, I don't know. I think it's just because this is the age, right? And my question to you is, what should I be doing? Should I be on all the apps? Should I be Instagram DMing men? Like, what should I be doing to open up my candidate pool of like great men?
Of course. Great question. Women who make the first move are the most successful
Wow.
because
Really?
brown men are very shy of rejection. They hate rejection. So they get very intimidated. I host a bunch of live events, right? Matchmaking events. We do a survey after every event, and we always ask, did you make the first move? If the girl says no, it says 0 matches. But if the girl says she made the first move, it says multiple people she matched with. Men are afraid of rejection, and women are just waiting for the male to come up to them. But from what we've seen over the last 3 years, if a girl goes up to a guy, she's getting the number. She's getting the number. And a guy,
you think-
Wow.
rich,
do you think
soft girl, he's gonna be. He might not be a little nervous. He has riz, but some other guys might be like, I don't know. Should I go up to her? Should I not? What if I get rejected? So many things come to their mind. And women also have some sort of ego where they're like, I'm not going up to the guy. He could come up to me. He could buy me a drink. But the girls who make the first move are always gonna win.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Then I have a question, Didi, for you. Do you believe in the idea that the guy has to come up to you?
No, I'm actually learning to, I think ever since, I don't know if it was Bridge who made me feel this way or like you, Veer, but like I recently have gone just very comfortable being very direct about like if I'm interested in somebody, like going for it and being like, hey, like I would love to get a coffee or I'd love to do this, whatever. And I've actually had a lot more success.
Zoya,
Like,
when you said earlier
Wait.
about the list for men, you said it's not your list. So can you describe your list for a man?
Yeah.
My list is I do care about the person being very intelligent. Like I actually don't mind. You know how there are some people that are so intelligent that they're socially awkward and like can't hold themselves in a social setting? Like that's my ideal type, genuinely, because I just really can't stand dumb people and I won't be able to handle my life with somebody who's dumb. So like intelligence number 1. Number 2 is honestly just like some version of like health, being healthy, like caring about your health. I'm a very health oriented person. I don't drink. People know that. I think caring and prioritizing that would fix a lot of the other issues that may erupt. And then the third is cares about making money. Yeah.
What
But it doesn't have to be making money already.
Yeah, I mean like future earnings maybe, but
How do you
yeah.
pick someone's future? What makes you see potential in somebody?
I think you can tell based on somebody's like practicality and like the way that they speak about like their future ideas and what they plan to put into motion. I mean, I don't know though. I think I've had trouble assessing that. Usually my
between-
mom is good at
between a
assessing
tech
that
bro-
for me.
Between
Yeah.
a tech bro and a finance bro, who would you pick?
Tech bro.
That's a good question.
No problem. No problem. Finance
Oh my
bros
God.
are out.
Those are out.
Yeah, they're out.
Finance
you
bros are
date-
not out.
Would you
That's
date
very
someone,
insulting for me, but fine.
Wait, Anip, what's your question?
would you date someone who's an influencer or a public figure?
Yeah, I totally would. I mean, I would honestly, maybe that would be an interesting experiment for me. Because maybe we would build interesting things together. I have no problem with dating somebody who has an external profile. I think anybody who is an entrepreneur who doesn't have an external profile, like, I don't know if you're an actual entrepreneur. So I would say that that's probably likely.
But that's the key. Hold on. So the key is you can be an influencer, but like Zoya is let's say call her an influencer, but she's also a Stanford grad.
Yeah.
Like I think the key is you got to do some. Bridge is also a part of this podcast, but he is learning math, like applied math at Cornell. Like you got to have some real skill set in your life. And coming back to one of your earlier questions, I would like to know, Bridge, do you get nervous when you meet women? Like, do you make the first move? Like, buy a girl a drink? I mean, you
We're
don't
just
drink.
so confident, though.
No, but
like-
I don't know. How, let's see. I've never asked Bridge how he is in a social setting.
Okay, first of all, surface answer, I do feel like I'm very confident when it comes to approaching women, and I do handle rejection pretty well. Like, I don't think of it as deeply as other people do. But honestly, and I don't know if this is true or not, but my prediction to is why, because in college, you meet a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds. I think the reason why is actually because I grew up like solely around white people. So when you're like constantly like shooting your shot with white girls, it's so different from shooting your shot from with like Indian girls or South Asian girls of different kinds. So when you look at the other Indian guys who have never been able to like, there's Indian guys at college that cannot approach a white girl. Like they just cannot do it. They can't talk to them or anything. It's just completely out of their comfort zone. So when you have that kind of in your bag, it gives you a huge leg up against a lot of other people.
But how come you've never dated an Indian girl's Bridge then?
because I grew up in New York City. Like there's not that many. But the schools that I went to were very predominantly white, like very predominantly white. Especially the private school when I was growing up. How many Indian girls even went to that school? Maybe like 2 in my grade max. Right? I grew up like very predominantly white neighborhood.
Anip,
as well.
do you agree with what he's saying that brown men have a hard time?
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of. We're not talking all.
Yeah. No. I get that.
Very high percentage of brown men will not go up to a white female and give them a pickup line
No.
or try to flirt with them. Or
How about a brown man with a brown woman? Is the same thing? They're
a
nervous.
little easier. It's not like they get nervous. If you have it, you have it. You got the swag, you're going in.
Yeah.
But for a brown guy to go to a bar and talk to a white girl, it's seldomly seen.
Wow.
Wait,
Wow.
Do you match homosexual couples too?
We do, yes.
And is it harder? And how do the like requirements and criteria translate for them?
What a great question for you.
That is usually like a money thing. It could be a money thing versus a very good looking thing. So if I am matching a gay couple, right, one is going to be wealthy because they're affording my services, and they are looking for one thing. Again, age and looks. Whether you're a straight man or a gay man, you're looking for 2 things: age and looks.
That's so interesting.
It's
Okay, wait. So
so
I have a
over
question.
for me.
Since
It's
we're
over
moving,
for me.
we're moving into this whole process of like women starting to approach guys, women, like there's a huge feminist movement obviously that's taken place. So this question kind of goes to everybody in the podcast because I want to hear everyone's answer. Who should pay for the first date, and should you
Yeah.
split on the first date? And let's say the girl asks out the guy, should the girl then have the responsibility of paying for the first date the same way a guy would?
I think it should always be the guy.
I think it should always be the guy.
I think it should be the guy, but the girl should always offer or buy the dessert, like at a next venue. Like, let's go get froyo really quick.
So don't be a complete taker.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, good.
But
you're
if
the
that's
guy
being a
who-
complete taker, hold on.
From
No,
matchmaking.
Let's say no. I'm saying he's saying, but make some kind of offering. So don't just be like, oh, you're the guy. It's all on you.
That's
Yeah.
what they say. I would say most of the girls in college that I meet when we have these conversations, they expect the guy to fully pay for everything with like no.
I have one client, he's a billionaire. He wrote on his profile, it turns him on if a girl sneakily will pay the bill once in like a 10-date thing.
Oh, that's so cute.
He's like,
actually.
I'm paying for all the dates, but he's like, it's a turn on if a girl like will slide her credit card like when she's going to the bathroom. He's like, that is the biggest turn on ever.
Well, I actually met this guy. He's not Indian, but he comes from a billionaire family, and his last name is plastered all over this like certain area in the Bay Area. Like people know. So basically that this kid of parents is very wealthy. And
Yeah.
he was seeing this girl, and for like 3 months, he would pay for everything, but she wouldn't even say thank you. Like she never said thank you. And he registered that as a red flag because he was like, I feel like she basically just knew, not even based on our conversations, but she somehow knew about my background and then just assumed based on my background that this would be the case. And that assumption, I think, is a huge turnoff for a lot of people. Like making assumptions of that kind is not good, I would
Wait,
say.
but how does it work for like Bridge or Veer, who I don't know if you're giving them money or allowance or how high school works? Who pay? Do you guys go on dates and who pays for those?
I pay for it every time.
With what money? Like
With
before
the
you
money
were,
that I've made before I made money with my mom's money. Like I would
Okay.
take her money and pay for it.
Okay.
But there was no way, there was no option of not paying. Like there was no girl. If you didn't pay for a first date when I was in high school or middle school, you would be ostracized. Like you would be cooked for the whole girl community.
What about the second or third date?
Word spreads so fast. The second or third date, it's not as serious because at that point, if you make it past the first date, that usually means you guys are going to last a while in high school. In
Okay.
high school, at least. In college, it's way different, but in
Yeah.
high school, it was such.
Uh-huh.
And if you made it to the second or third, it's like, okay, then it's fine. But I remember one guy didn't pay for the first date, and then he got like the entire girl community would never touch him. Like he was like considered
Wow.
musty, horrible, like just a terrible guy. He was so
Musty.
nice too. It was like
What is
here they
musty?
assign us. It's like it has nothing to do with not paying. It just
Like
means you're like
dirty.
dirty.
And what about
What
Veer?
about your age?
Veer is also
Um,
on the,
I guess my age, it's not really as serious because I think it's ridiculous to expect for like a guy to pay for everything at 13, 14 years old. So like I mean, I personally would from mom's money, or from my own money, whatever money I have access to. But
What-
I don't think it's as serious
But the
generally.
date stakes at that point aren't that like I remember like
It's
the
not
most
like a
expensive
sit-down
dates-
dinner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's like
no, no, no.
Starbucks.
It's like
But
yeah,
what
it's
do
like
you, Zarna and Shala, what do you guys think of your kids spending money on their dates? Like, how do you guys think? What do you
I'm
I
think?
think
okay
they
with
should.
it.
I'm very okay
They
with
should.
it too.
Yeah,
They
I mean, if
should.
I
And I
would
think
want
that
Bridge-
Bridge and Veer should pay for the girl.
First of all 3 kids work for me. So
Yeah,
they're making money. They're
Yeah.
making their own money. Like it's like they've been working for years. So it's not like
Yeah.
they don't. But I would expect that my boys take a girl out on a proper date
And
and
pay
pay
for it.
for it.
So
But-
do you expect that
But
Didi
it would
gets
be a
taken
red
out?
flag if the girl never offered anything. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not that that I don't want my kids to pay for it. But if some girl just assumed this is a way of life, and that she should just get more and more, I think that would be a red flag. for me.
Entitlement can be very off-putting. I get that.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
very off-putting.
I would find it really attractive if a girl like tried to pay for the bill.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Zoya, if
is.
the guy was in the bathroom and the bill came, what would you do on your first date? Would you
I
leave the
would
bill
pay for
there?
it. The thing is, the first date kind of stresses me out, and I'll explain why. So, when you are on a first date, especially with somebody who you've just met, if you let that guy pay, sometimes there's this psychological belief from the guy that means that there's going to be a second date or that girl owes him something now.
Yeah.
That in those circumstances, I pay, and I run, right? Like there have been times where I've been on a date with somebody and it's
So are you
really
saying if the
not
date
working.
is going poorly, you would pay?
100%.
I see.
Because if
Oh,
if
that's
it's
a good thought.
If it's going poorly, then the way I can cut my losses as quickly as possible is make it so that guy has given me as little as possible, and therefore I owe him as little as possible. I let guys pay for the first date with no problem when I'm really into them. When I'm not, I'm like I need to mitigate my risks as much as possible.
Interesting.
Now wait,
Have you done this before?
oh my god, so many times. There was one spot in Palo Alto where the staff knew when it was going badly, so that
Yeah.
they would bring the bill out as quickly as possible for me.
Oh wow.
Because I was like, I really don't like wasting my time. You can tell within 5 to 10 minutes if this is a good conversation or a bad conversation. Would you
Yeah.
say that's true?
I think the first 5 minutes, you know where it's going.
You know where it's going within the first 5 minutes. So I would
Some guys can be awkward. They might need a drink. I mean, to loosen up a little and get less awkward. If you're
Yeah.
in the
I don't
situation.
mind awkwardness though. I deal great with awkwardness. I need an awkward, extremely nerdy person. Oh my god, that's like
Wait, I have a
Anip,
question.
is
I
it-
hate
would
when
you
people
say,
say
would
that.
you say a 40-year-old guy, Indian guy in America, in New York or whatever, doing reasonably well, so wealthy but not billionaire wealthy,
Okay.
but divorced with 2 kids,
Yeah.
even he would look to meet a late 20s girl?
He would with no children.
oh
Okay.
man.
But with children,
What?
what would happen?
It gets a little harder.
It gets a little harder. And the
Yeah.
girls would accept him without children.
No, not always, but there is more than you would think.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And with
Wait,
children, what would happen to him? What kind of girl would he meet?
Which I mean, he might not meet someone very young, very again. It does matter of what his lifestyle is. Women are not only seeking money, but it does help. Like, oh, he has a private jet versus he doesn't. What are you picking, right? Like, it does make a difference. Money, at the end of the day, is the reason why most divorces happen. It's financial. I've met so many females who make a lot of money. They're like, oh, I'm okay if the man makes less than me. I was like, that's fine. But let's say he wants to stay at the Holiday Inn and you want to stay at the St. Regis. What would you do? And the female always answers, I'll stay at the St. Regis. I'll pay for it. I was like, but that's not how marriage works. That's when the fights happen. Why do we need to spend our money there? Let's just stay at the Holiday
Yeah.
Inn. People can't just be like, oh, I'll just pay for it. Of course they're willing to, but that's not how it works. That's where the fights
Yeah.
happen, where they're like, no, we'll find a middle ground. We'll stay at the Marriott. But I always ask this question to my wealthy female clients, like, what if they can afford your lifestyle? And they're like,
But
they
that
said,
is, Anip, you are dealing with a lot of that. Like, you have a lot of 40 plus, 35, 40
Yeah.
plus women
Yeah.
who are actually very affluent, successful.
Amazing.
And what is their experience? Why don't you share what experience they have?
Yeah,
with?
our clients who are above 40 are the most successful, very good looking, they have the full package. The only thing that is stopping them from finding the love could be their age. That is why we have these mixers, right? In our mixers, we have age brackets. It doesn't show how old you are. That same girl who can't find as many matches in our private sector because her age is listed on there, she will have 30 guys after him at the mixer getting her number. If age was not a thing, everyone would be married by now. Which is crazy to say. I'm not trying to let anyone down and saying,
No, it's good.
but it does
Tell
get
us
harder.
stories.
After you hit 36 years old as a female, it does get extremely hard because men want to have children, and some men aren't educated enough to know that there are other ways of having children than the natural way. There's so many other ways of having children in this day and age, but it doesn't click to them that this is an option. They're just thinking biological clock, biological clock. If I date someone 36, we're not getting married till 30, it means I can only have one kid. That's boy math for them. So once someone hits 36, unfortunately, the pool just drops like significantly.
Oh man, this
Wait,
is
so
why
I
you
have a
can't
question.
waste. Wait, I just want to interject for a second before you ask this question. But I do think a lot of young girls watch our podcast and are in lots of different situations themselves. But if you are a girl and somebody is trying to waste your time in any way, like they're not committing to you for some reason, or there's some massive red flag that is prohibiting the next step from being taken, you've got to cut your losses as soon as possible. Like, I don't care how hard it hurts, but you just got, like, that's one thing that my mom really instilled in me at a young age. And I think I've had my own, I've been lucky. And this is something I tell parents all the time. You should let your daughters date really soon because they will make all of those mistakes that they would make at 20 at like 16, and therefore will have so many years of experience of like going into the like 20s dating situation ahead of them. And so
Has that helped you, Zoya? Because you did start.
So much. I had a high school best friend relationship that was really just a best friend. And I'm sure he would agree. And I also dated the guy that, was like super, super successful at a young age and was not comfortable with my public facing life. And I know what that looks like now. And so I'm so grateful that I exited those situations. The second one, I wish I had exited it a little bit sooner. But I do feel very, very, very like aggressive alert. This is an aggressive alert. What is it that dad you always say? PSA, public service announcement. If he's not willing to commit, get out of the situation. Okay, Bridge, go for it now.
Yeah. Okay. So first in context, I'm very, very recently single after a long-term relationship, and I'm in college. So a lot of things have been on my mind, and the first thing is how important is it to find your match in college? Does it become significantly harder after college?
It does. So many people who are successful, even entrepreneurs today, they found the love of their life early on, and they supported them throughout their career and their trajectory, and that is why they are where they are today. That is what I've seen. But I think it's not like you don't find love, it's going to be over. That's not true. Guy, so it's easier. No, I'm joking. You have your whole, I'm not joking. You have your whole life, but people finding love in college is a different experience because you're experiencing love without the money, if that makes sense. Like you're finding love, you're meeting the people without the financial background to it.
Anip, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So something dad, I think I'm going to ask the same one actually. So something that my dad always tells me every single time we ever talk about girls is that you should never, ever get married before the age of 25, right? That's what you say, Dad? Is that like before the age of 25, you should never get married. For a girl. Yeah, for a boy, because you don't know what you'll want to change. You don't know like if you have more options or whatever. Yeah. You should never, ever do that. What do you think about that?
I mean, if you're dating someone for a very long time, let's say high school, and you are 25 and you're adult and you're mature and you're financially okay, I think it's okay to get married at 25, 26. But most people should, there's no rush to get married. It is the biggest decision of your life. And some people date very fast and get married very fast. And it is the biggest decision of your life. So it should never be rushed, but it also shouldn't be pushed back till you're 50 years old. I mean, you could do what you want at the end of the day.
I had a question, Anip.
Yeah.
Over a course of 100 years, has anything changed in terms of the kind of girl the only son of an Indian billionaire family looks for out of Mumbai or Delhi? Has anything changed in the kind of girl they look for?
I don't know what happened 100 years ago, but I think everyone wants a suitable, family-oriented daughter-in-law. And again, looks are very important still, even in a billionaire family. They need to make sure that she fits the family's bill. The mannerisms are there. The etiquette is there. I think etiquette is a big thing for wealthy people. What is our etiquette like, right? So that's that, and keeping the legacy on children. Nowadays, a lot of people don't want to have children. It's a thing.
No,
People
I
don't
know
want
it's
children.
true. They don't.
I would say 8 to 10% of our clients do not want children, which is completely fair.
Okay, wait. One thing I want to say, like when it comes to saying, like we always say, what are the top 3 things you want in your partner? What are the top 3 things? One thing that frustrates me a little bit is that I think that generally, if you do not find your partner attractive, like genuinely find your partner attractive, dating becomes really hard. So I think like psychologically on everyone's list, looks would be number 1, because unless it's like as mom likes to say, a 78-year-old billionaire with 2 stints in his heart that you'll just inherit all the money, you need to be attracted to your partner.
You do.
But attraction can mean different things to different people, right?
I'm definitely a sapiosexual. I 100.
What does that mean?
That you're attracted to somebody's brain.
She's
You're
attracted
attracted
to
to somebody's intelligence. Like that is the thing that makes somebody the most attractive to you, without any question in my mind. Because
you said he has to work out and be fit. Being fit is
she's lying.
Hold on. No.
She's lying.
Hold on. No, I'm not lying. I'll explain why. What I mean by work out and be fit, I just mean like I have dated people in the past where health was not on their mind at all. And what I've noticed is those are the kinds of people that like will end up staying up super late and like eating all sorts of random junk and like don't surround themselves with certain kinds of people that don't prioritize that at all. And like for me, like I'm the yogi, like I love going to the farmers market. I just have noticed that specific trait in a person is super important because it trickles into like lifestyle choices. But that doesn't mean like I don't need like a 6-pack type like perfect whatever.
Did you know people are matching based on dietary preferences now? What do you guys know? Like vegans only want to date vegans, and like,
is that true?
Yeah, like if you're not, I have a lot of guys who are non-veg, which means you eat meat. For those who don't know what non-veg means, and they don't want to date a vegan or a vegetarian. They want to share a steak with somebody.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can understand that, right? Like Zarna is vegetarian. I eat steak.
On that, what?
I mean,
Zoya, you're vegan?
No, I eat everything. I mean, I like to advertise that I'm vegan because it's an aspiration of mine, but I do eat everything.
Would you date a vegan?
No, why not? I don't care about food preferences.
No, she would not date vegan. No.
You're lying on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not lying on this podcast. Okay, one thing. Okay, you know what? I'm going to spill a really hot take. I have never been on a successful date with a brown man. I haven't yet in my life.
Anip, I have another question for you. I have a lot of...
Hold on. Let her finish this thought.
I have not felt satisfied by my dates with brown men so far in my life. And that is not to say that I've not met great brown guys. Some of them are in relationships and I'm like, whoa, that guy would have been great. Too bad. But I feel like every brown guy I've been on a date with, I've struggled because they've tried to minimize me a little bit. I don't feel like I can be my most confident like self with that person. Or B, I've just felt like there's some sort of like ego issue. Like I don't know, like as if there's like I just feel these entitlement issues that I haven't felt with other races. That has been my experience so far. Anip, which I'm going to refer to you as that on our podcast, I really do. If you can find me somebody not in that category, I'd be so happy. But that's just my.
What is the oldest?
What are the common trends?
What
is the oldest person you would date?
32.
No, 28.
I don't mind somebody who's much older than me. I actually think that I do probably need to go older. Okay, my other question to you is,
does that help, Anip, if she is willing to go older?
Of course.
That's just a bigger pool, yeah.
Way bigger pool, and older men, as stated, age is a big thing. They would love to marry 10 years younger.
I don't mind.
I have a question for you, Anip, before I have to go. I have no more than 5 minutes. What is the market like for 65 to 70-year-old people?
It depends how much money is in your bank account.
Wow. It's all got to
They're
do
not
with
looking at
money.
your abs at that point. I'm sorry. They're not looking at your abs. They're not looking at anything else. It's. I'm just being.
And you're talking basically about men, because I don't think women with money can even get anybody.
No, I mean, women. I mean, everyone can find love, guys. But to be realistic, it is harder for women who are 65. There are scenarios where it works, but it is hard for women. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, millionaire, really wealthy. It honestly doesn't matter. It's not a perk, right? Like I could tell Bridge, like, hey, this girl's a millionaire, date her. He'd be like, okay, cool. Versus the girl next to her is a teacher but looks very attractive. Who's he going for? The teacher.
Is he going for the teacher? No.
Rick, who are you going for? In that case, who are you going for?
I would go for the teacher.
Let's say what she's still. Both are attractive. Let's just pretend, but the teacher is way more attractive. What would you pick?
If they're both attractive to me, it would come down to like different traits to me. It would have to come down to like who wants to support my lifestyle more, who's more willing to, who's more. I guess not just.
I'm saying, does money play a role for you? I'm saying one's a millionaire.
No, money plays no role. Money plays
That's
no
the
role.
thing. For men, money.
But if you reversed it and the same two options were given to Zoya,
Money will play a role, obviously. I'm sure.
So there's a double standard in some way, right? But men, I don't think I have seen where the money matters. I've seen some physicians like, I only want to marry a physician. I need someone who makes money. I don't want a gold digger, right? We get that a lot, but that's very rare. I don't think at least 90% of my clients care how much the female is earning, because we have a ticker like, what are your salary expectations in your significant other? Most men click any, doesn't matter. But I've never seen a female write doesn't matter.
Yeah, what does a female usually choose?
At least 350,000 and above. If they're over 30, that's like the average. And most people will say if they're 35 and above, at least $500,000 they're asking.
Wow. This conversation is so
It's rough out there.
It's so rough out here. Okay, well, just to put the nail in the coffin, if you were not afraid to hurt the dating market's feelings, what would be your harshest truth?
My harshest truth is, yes, you are getting married to this person and it's a lifelong commitment, but don't let one or two small things stop you from going on the date with the person. We have clients like 6 foot and above. I'll show them someone 5'11". They'll be like, nope. I was like, please just go on the date. Like, just see how it is.
Absurd. I can't even imagine that person.
Yeah,
well, I mean, in fairness, Anip, the guy who's writing 5'11" is probably 5'9".
Oh shoot!
We asked for driver's license to make.
Do you get a lot of catfishers?
We can't get catfishers because all of our clients, we do a Zoom call with them, and if their photos don't look like their Zoom,
I mean, he's the premier matchmaker. He knows.
Yeah, so we.
All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. I am going to assign my A grade, and my A grade will go to Zoya for picking out very categorically the 3 things she would want. I would want nothing more than my daughter to be married much before she's 25. And I would want nothing more for my son to be married much later in life, late 20s, if that's possible. And I would like my daughter to marry someone really rich, and I would like my son to marry someone really beautiful. So I'm quintessential to what Anip described as what men are looking for and what girls are looking for. With that, I'll say goodbye. I'm sorry, I'm going on a finance consulting assignment. I'm not slacking off. It's a client. She's a woman, and she's looking for. I actually don't know if she's single or not, but a typical woman I'm consulting with is generally not single, more likely divorced.
So then single.
But
and he's, oh man, this is funny.
Well, all right. If she's looking for love, you know who to introduce him to.
I will. And with that, I'll take off. And really, really nice talk to you guys. Anip, you're amazing.
We just didn't even get to the juiciest part. We waited to kick Shalab out because we wanted to get more time with Anip because, Shalab can be unhinged a little bit. What is going on in Bollywood? What is the inside juice on the Bollywood matchmaking trends? Do you have any Bollywood clients? What are they looking for? Are they crazy? Are they normal? Please give us everything, Anip. We're going to take a moment to tell you about our special podcast sponsor for today's episode. Finance Dad Podcast has bought an ad. Finance Dad Podcast, are you enjoying doing your podcast?
Really, Mark. I'm really enjoying it. I've done Wall Street for 25 years and Finance Dad for less than a year. And I would say this is 10 times more satisfying.
And as part of your podcast, what is a service that you offer that today you are advertising?
I'm not going to offer discounts. I'm not going to do it. I just will not do it.
I've got you. But what
I'm
is the
not-
service?
Oh, I'm offering this an hour consulting, which I've done for over 40 clients.
And what type of consulting do you do?
I've done it with the age group of 12 to 73. So clearly, everyone has different issues
Relating to money, relating to life.
relating to debt, relating to life, relating to impact of money on life, life on money, all kinds of money-related issues.
The reason he started Finance Dad, I made him, is because there are influencers out there who've never held a corporate job, who've never took out a mortgage, who've never paid interest, who've never applied for college, who've never worried about saving for college. He and us, we've done it all, especially him, 25-year Wall Street career, how to win in corporate America.
Overeducation. I'm overeducated too.
Okay, he's also very overeducated from fancy universities, but who cares? But he has done it all. We've saved up for multiple homes. We've bought homes, we've sold homes. We know everything to look out for when you're buying, when you're selling, when you got brokers telling you all kinds of things. And Finance Dad is a nice, peaceful guy who's going to explain to you whatever your problem is. He's happy to talk to you about it. And now on the topic of discounts, what he doesn't know is that my people, the people who follow Zarna Garg Family Podcast, always get the best deal. So if you buy a consulting hour in the month of December, if you buy it in the month of December, but you use it whenever you want, you will get 10% off his consulting rate. Say yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Check him out right now, Finance Dad Podcast at Gmail. Check out his podcast. You can see a lot of free episodes at Finance Dad Podcast. There's a YouTube account. He's now on Spotify and Apple because his podcast is growing along with the rest of us.
I luckily have a lot of Bollywood celebrities as our clients. Zarna, thank you for referring me to a bunch of them. But it is crazy that I used to see these Bollywood people on TV. I love Bollywood. I'm a very filmy person. And now I am chatting with these very high profile Bollywood clients on the daily to find them love. And it just mind boggles me. Like I will be out at dinner with friends and my friends will see my phone and they're like, why is this like a friend's like number you like change to this person? And I was like, no, they're like my client. It is insane. But the things, Bollywood, people in Bollywood, a lot like to marry Bollywood people. But then there's the other side of Bollywood that don't want to marry anyone in the industry. They want to marry someone from America. Like Madhuri Dixit married someone from America. Priyanka Chopra dated somebody who's a celebrity here. That's a little different. But a lot of Bollywood actresses want to marry wealthy men in America, successful, wealthy men. They don't want to stay in the Bollywood realm. Wow. And we have a lot of Bollywood actresses, a lot of Bollywood actors as well who don't want to marry a Bollywood actress. They want someone from America or Dubai or London. So Zoya, if you're interested in dating a Bollywood celebrity,
I've said I'm interested, but she keeps rejecting everybody. She's rejected. There was this one guy who's like the son of the most, like one of the three most infamous Bollywood people
never
who
over my dead
direct
body.
Interest in me, direct interest, gorgeous. I don't know if he was
right there.
because
Anip doesn't even know because if
he
I
doesn't
tell
even
him,
know.
he'll
He
lose
doesn't
his
even
mind.
know.
No.
But she cut it.
How
because
did
I
he
wasn't
express
even
interest
allowed.
in you?
We have common friends in New York.
Yes, and he said, I think Zoya is really beautiful and I want to take her out. And I wasn't even allowed to go on the date.
How old were you?
At this point, I was 20. I was 20. I was
Wait,
right before my second relationship.
You should slide into his DMs.
No, because she doesn't think. Okay, I actually do think that she has probably a really good pulse on who might be the right fit for me. But yeah, I wasn't even allowed to.
Or is she just like a crazy mom? Like, how do we know?
I don't know.
Would you let Zoya date anyone who's a Bollywood celebrity?
Would I? No.
Yeah. Why?
Wait, so mom, what?
No. Anip, you know all the problems with that lifestyle. First of all, without going very far, by Zoya's own list of things, How intelligent most of them are is a big question mark.
I know.
There are many brilliant people. There are many brilliant people in Bollywood, but it's a mystery. You got to find the diamonds in the rough. 9 out of 10 are literally everywhere you go, they're fixing their hair. It is unbearable. And it's not just Bollywood, it's also Hollywood. I go to Hollywood.
Mhm.
Every restaurant you sit in, those guys are like looking in the mirror. They're looking in the glass. Like, you want to live that life? No, please no. I think there's a lot of other ways, even for Bridge, not even just
A
Zoya.
lot of
I
Bollywood
would-
actresses are very smart, though. I've seen
Yes.
a lot of very
Oh yeah. Oh my god. The
intelligent.
women. I feel like the most common. I could definitely become this woman, but the number of women I meet who are 35, 36, 37, who are drop dead gorgeous, who have it all. They have the family, they have the body, they have the looks, they're brilliant, and they just cannot find somebody. I'm just like, what happened here? Because they have it all. They literally have it all. It's insane. Age is so upsetting. Like, it's actually, I'm so screwed. I'm
Okay,
so
wait,
screwed.
hold
I'm
on.
saying it on the
You're,
podcast now.
you're 20.
When-
you just-
when me and Baya are to bring our significant others home, we typically look to mom for advice and what she thinks is the best fit. So I want to
don't
ask.
anymore.
Okay, you
Wait,
used to
what
at
did
least.
you say, Bridge?
I said I don't do that anymore. Like, I
Yes,
don't
you
look to
do.
see your opinion immediately anymore
Yes,
about
you
what you
do.
think. Wait, Anip, okay. Anip, going off what Veer just said,
Yeah.
you must deal with a lot of Indian moms, like, all the time. Is our mom different, or is she just another crazy Indian mom when it comes to matchmaking?
I want to add also.
And be brutally honest.
no, but
I'm
they're
not
not just.
allowed to answer any questions of those sorts.
Oh
No,
my god, that means that you know what that means, mom. You know what that means. That means he that means he thinks that you're just another crazy Indian mom when it comes to matching. You know
Silence is an
exactly what that
answer.
means.
Silence
That
is
I,
an
answer.
I don't like getting into family politics.
Oh my god,
Oh
you
my
know
God,
he-
Anip, just tell them that all the moms are crazy because you know they are.
Wait,
So
the
a
other thing
lot
is
of
that-
so when you're in America, there's two types of moms. One is a modern Indian mom, and the one is a non-modern Indian mom. Like, two types of Indian moms. One who will be able to talk to their kids about dating and sometimes even sex or like open topics like your family, versus the other side, some parents are more typical Indian families where they don't even know their kids are dating. Like, they're sneaking away and dating till they're 26, 27. So I guess you, in a way, are privileged where your mom is modern, let's call it. She's a modern
We are.
auntie.
100%.
Where you could talk to her about that. But that also is a little discouraging because she knows too much, like if you had an oblivious mom, let's pretend, then you could kind of get away with anything. I don't think you're getting away with a lot. Like, if you brought someone which was a red flag, your mom would cut it like straight up. Like, even
Yeah.
I don't think Brit could, like, back in the day people would run away and get married, buggy, like they ran away and got married. I don't think any of your kids could do that because I don't think they
Run
have
away
the
to
balls.
where?
They don't have the balls.
Not the balls, they're still connected to the umbilical cord. Like, I could yank the cord right there.
Look, I don't.
No
I think if
one's
you,
running
I
away
think
on
if
my
you
watch.
found someone they're in love with, you still have to get your mom's approval. I think so. I don't think you
You
have
think that?
balls to be like, no, mom, I'm gonna marry this girl. That's just my
I
opinion.
think I do.
think-
Didi definitely doesn't. Veer,
I
I don't
do.
know.
I've done it before.
I honestly look a lot differently from the perspective of love and what I find love to be than what my mom does. And I think that she's like always looking for the most. She thinks she's really interviewing them on an extremely depth level, like for a company acceptance level for her standards. But my standards and her standards could be so different for like
Yeah.
what I believe should be the perfect person for me. And I think I've just accepted that as reality and just like accepted that like I don't need her 100%. Okay, mom finds this is an issue, this is an issue, but she doesn't need that 100% certainty for me to be able to marry somebody. That's the truth.
Listen, Bridge, I'm not that involved. I think you should do whatever makes sense to you. I have full faith that you are part of our family and you understand the family ethos. And I have full faith in that. Like, I do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, and you know what we are all looking for. So there's that.
Okay, hold on. I want to finish my question from earlier. So I was saying how
That was really weird.
and usually Baya, I guess now he's different, used to look to mom for advice on her partners. So I want to ask Didi, for girls that we bring home, what do you like to look for when you meet them first?
Oh yeah. With your guys' partners, what is very important to me is that it seems like there is like a foundational friendship. like actually just a real friendship that is based on something. It doesn't have to be based on, like it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just feels like there's like an actual friendship there. It also matters to me a lot if they seem to care about getting to know our family, because I know that's important to both of you. And I'm not one of those sisters where it's like, you're just going to be my sister. Like, we're going to know each other, like, and we're going to know each other really well. And if it doesn't seem like you're interested in that, then I'm immediately suspicious about whether or not it's going to work out. And I just general respect. I don't know. I think you guys haven't brought enough people home very seriously for me to really think about it. But I can tell pretty quickly if it's an immediate no. I can tell if it's an immediate no. I can tell if it's like not going to work out long term. So yeah.
Wait, but can we go back to Bollywood for a second? Because we have Anip here, and I just remembered something. All these Bollywood actresses who want to marry rich guys in America, then they marry those guys and want to take them back to India.
I not all
Like
of them.
Madhuri Dixit.
Yeah. I think Madhuri Dixit she came here, she brought up her kids here, and then after a certain point, she went back to India to finish her acting career. So, and they're not only looking for rich people. Intelligence is a big thing.
No, yeah, the good match.
Yeah,
I get
a
that.
great match. Yeah,
But
yeah.
do you feel like they come here and they see life in America and it's not
Not as glamorous. Yeah.
the glamour that they used to at
So
all?
I asked them, I was like, "Are you sure you'll be okay in New York City?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "We're done. Like, we would love to try Hollywood." They still want to act, but they want to come here and act. They want to pursue it. Maybe Madhuri came here and tried to act in Hollywood and it didn't work out. We don't know that, right?
No, I don't know.
And so maybe they had to go back. The lifestyle in India is insanely different than here. Like, you guys have been to India, right? You guys just went.
Yeah.
The lifestyle there is just
So different.
It's so
insanely different.
different.
And
also
that's
the
why I
priority.
don't
And
think
to
any
live
match.
that type of lifestyle that you have as an Indian Bollywood actress, you have 10 people around you 24 hours. To have that lifestyle in America, there's the regular person cannot afford that. Not even a millionaire could afford that. Only a certain level of person could have your hairstylist, hair, makeup, full glam with you all day, every day. Your busser, like, people, they don't carry bags. Like, even Hollywood people, like, celebrities don't carry their own bags, right? They have bussers to do that.
Yeah.
But that's why, like, coming back to a more normal setting, like, sometimes my friends in India will be like, would you match your daughter or your son to somebody who's grown up in India? And I just don't see it happening. I just don't. Some girl who's grown up in India with that entire support structure, how is she going to make a home in America with a very American life? And a guy who's in India, honestly, this is another hot take. This is going to get me in so much trouble, but I'm going to say it. The guys who grow up in India, no matter what they say and no matter how open minded they project themselves to be, I feel like the misogyny is just under the surface. It's just there. You scratch a little bit. I mean, first of all, misogyny is everywhere, so there's a lot here too. But coming from that culture, within a minute, you're like, she's not, and the code words are, she's not a fit in the family, she's not respectful upbringing. Like, the minute the girl is going to express her own desire and interest in doing things, it's like, we got red flag, red flag, red flag. Do you see that at all?
I think that could be from men everywhere, right? But I do in India. Typically, there are a little more exposure to that with the misogyny. But I think as we progress and this new generation comes, it does get very different. Like, girls from America will date a guy from India if
They will?
they have a certain type of lifestyle. Yes.
If they have.
So, Rich.
Mm.
I mean, be honest. Come on.
Would you marry a girl?
You won't date a poor guy in
Would
India?
you marry a girl who was raised in India?
Guys, I just feel like, you know what? This is my issue with this topic. Where did the fun in dating go? Isn't dating supposed to be something that's fun and explorative and you learn about yourself and they learn about themselves and then you fall in love?
We're in a time crunch here. We don't have time
Oh, man.
or money.
I'm curious. I'm curious to know if this is like a majorly South Asian thing. Because when I spoke, okay, so maybe because I'm too young, I don't really know it. But whenever I speak to a lot of white people about dating or marriage, a lot of them comes down to strictly love and not necessarily a lot of these other things that a lot of the South Asian community prioritizes. And I wonder if that's just because of like young naivety or just because generally the cultures are so different?
Well, our divorce rates are extremely low as well, also because they are looking for the right things, right? South Asians
Yeah.
we're spending millions of dollars on our weddings, and we're not just going to do that for anyone, right? Non-South Asians fall in love. Oh, let's get married tomorrow. Let's go to Vegas. Let's run away. Like that doesn't happen with us. Like we don't just elope. I mean, it maybe happens here or there, but it's not a thing for us. Versus non-South Asians are let's elope in Vegas tomorrow. Like they just do it, you know. And I think it's a cultural thing for us that you're not getting married until you know that that's the person you're going to marry. Obviously, back in the day, there was arranged marriages, and there still is till this day. And a lot of those arranged marriages are very successful. Like they're happy, whatever it is, they're still together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, final hot takes before we wrap up this episode. Like, give us like your top 3 projected trends for dating and matchmaking for the next year.
Sure.
And
Wait,
all-
I have one last
Yeah.
question.
Ask Veer.
Do you think something involved with AI will soon become a criteria? Like a guy who knows how to, a guy or girl who knows how to handle AI or something
Or
like,
is that a red flag?
or would that be a red flag
I
too?
don't know. I think I haven't seen it yet, but I think knowledge of AI, everyone should have knowledge of AI at this point of time. But I don't know. Artificial like dating apps are slowly declining, as you all know. I don't know if you've read all
Is
this.
that true?
Yes, a lot of dating apps are going downhill. People
Yeah.
want to meet people in real life.
Yeah.
That's why
absolutely.
our events, we have one event every week. 1,000 people come, 500 guys, 500 girls.
I'm
Everyone-
going to one of them soon, right?
Yes,
Which one am I going
Saturday,
to?
in 2 weeks, Saturday.
Okay, just
Friday.
let it be known, everybody on this podcast, how
Oh.
seriously I'm taking dating. But
Okay.
I will be the belle of the ball.
Wow.
Be like, hey guys, I'm gonna be reaching out. I'm
But
gonna be
isn't
asking
it
guys-
easier to meet 500 brown men in one room? You decide who you like, you talk to
Oh,
them.
100%.
Or
And
next-
if there's one person on earth, not my mom, that I trust with my dating life, it is you.
Oh,
Without
thanks.
any question. Without any question. You
No,
are
the mixers that you do are brilliant.
incredible.
They're so
Bridge,
smart.
you should go too because it's like
I was there at the
You
last
and
one.
I should go. Why
The
don't we
Bridge
go
is.
together?
because it's true. It's a low pressure environment.
Yeah.
But
What
I'm
he does is
19.
it's
What am I gonna do at 19? Like I'm way
No,
too young.
I
I
will
feel like
find
no.
you and I will go bridge. We will go together. I will be a wingman.
We're
'Cause I'm
coming
guessing-
Valentine's Day weekend. On Valentine's Day, New York City.
Yes,
see
After your
there.
beacon show.
yes. After the
in
beacon show,
one.
we're gonna do it right there. And it's you've created a pathway for people to meet in real life in a low pressure setting, but still a little bit focused.
Yeah.
You kind of want to be in the matchmaking space, otherwise you're not going to be in that room. So it's just the right balance, and that's the whole. We have you here on our podcast. We rarely have guests, but we have you here because what you're doing is so unique, so brilliant. We've seen the effects of it. It's helping
Yeah.
people find love. You have a couple getting married like every week. It
You're
seems.
at a wedding every weekend.
We just had so many client weddings this month.
So many clients. You're spreading so much goodness in this world. And as we end every episode with a round of good grades with Gargs, so too we are going to end this episode with a round of good grades with Garg, where each member of the episode gives another person an A grade for the winning moment of the episode, for the most enlightening, entertaining moment of the episode. So who wants to go first with good grades with Gargs?
I'll start. So I'm gonna give it to Anip Bai, but for a more nuanced reason, I'm gonna say so from being on the road with my mom on tour and talking to like hundreds of people a day, like literally 1,000 people over a weekend, I have seen how much emotional capacity does really matter in work. And I've like had moments where I've like literally broken down from how much like I'm constantly needing to have charisma when talking to so many people. And I can only imagine like how much harder it is in your business, where it also comes down to like satisfying every individual and literally not even like taking some of them. So I just think
a lot
it's
of them,
super,
not taking a lot of them. The vast
super
majority.
impressive, super impressive. And I have so much respect for your business.
Thank you.
I'm also gonna give my A grade to Anip Bai. I think Veer was getting to a different. I'm taking it from a different path that Veer had because this comes down to the fact that obviously my mom is like one of the most, if not the most important person in my life. And I don't know if you know this, Anipai, but she, like, we will be in cars or we'll be traveling or something, and I will see her literally cracking down laughing, even though like the whole journey sucks or whatever. She'll start laughing, dying laughing, tears coming out of her eyes, and I'll say, "What happened?" And she'll be like, "Look what Anik just texted me." And then sometimes it'll literally just be a meme. Like it'll literally just be like a meme of the Minions or something, and she will literally start like crying laughter, and it just completely changes her
I
mood.
thought our texts were private this whole time. I didn't know that. The family.
They're on a need to know basis. I
We,
mean, I
there's a
share
lot of
what I
hot
wanted
takes.
to.
If our phones ever gotten stolen, I think we would get canceled probably.
I think this is gonna be a clean sweep, but I'm also gonna give my A grade to Anip Bai. I was also going to comment on the fact that mom actually has 0 friends. Not because so many people, not because everybody wants to be friends with her. It's because she is so precious about who she lets into her life in that way, because she's just worked so hard to build the life that she has. And you bring so much joy and delight to her, and not just from a friendship point of view. She trusts you so much with your business acumen, which I really am excited. Like, if we want a part 2 with the Anip Bai, please comment down below, because one thing we didn't even get into is he is literally the most brilliant businessman I've ever met. One of the earliest things I did in my career with my mom was she sent me to Anip Bai's Mohan matchmaking event in San Francisco, and was like, just go there and learn how he has built an operation of this kind. And there were so many different things that were happening, and his eye was on every single one, including me. He made me feel so safe and like so excited to be there and so special. So yeah, I mean, just obviously A grade goes to you.
Anip, a clean sweep today with the Gargs. A grade goes to Anip, because one time I remember you and I were talking at the end of one of your mixers, and one woman wrote you a very angry email, and she's like, "I didn't meet anybody, and and the beans that you served were cold." And you wrote her back, you're like, "Why are you focusing on the beans? You are here to meet men."
We put
And
beans
we
on
laughed.
purpose. We thought no one would eat the beans because who wants to fart at a matchmaking event? Okay.
We had such a good time laughing about it, but I've learned so much from you, not just about the matchmaking business, about business itself. And I really applaud the fact that you go in it with such honest intentions. My God, sometimes he deals with people who start off with, "I don't want much." And then the list comes out.
I don't
And
want
he's
much,
sitting
but-
there patiently listening to the 50th thing this person has listed. And then he has to explain to them why none of it is going to happen. I sometimes hang out with him only because I learn how to keep your mind like calm. And I was a matchmaker for a hot second 15 years ago. It is a horrible, difficult business to be in. So much respect for you, Anip.
So much
Anip, if
respect.
you want to give somebody an A grade in this group, please go ahead. We're dying to know.
I am giving an A grade to the only person who did not give me an A grade. My A grade goes to Shalab
Yeah.
because he wants Zoya to get married before 25. And that is another success for my Mohan matchmaking business.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is
That
a-
is basically you have 6 months.
6 months to find the guy. We got it. Your mom's already set you up with 2 guys. She has profiles on her phone. She'll send them to you soon.
Yeah, no, she doesn't need to see them. I told you they're good.
I didn't even know that I was a private client. I was going to sign myself up, actually, because I was so impressed, but I didn't. I guess I've been signed up, so that's great.
Everybody, take a minute to check out Mohan Matchmaking. If you're not Indian, check out Mohan Matchmaking anyway, because if you're willing to be part of the Indian community, wanting to meet Indian people, honestly, I bet you a lot of people even got great friendships out of your mixers.
Of course. So many girls are traveling the world together as girlfriends because they met at the event. Like, I have friends who just moved to LA. They come to the mixer. They meet so many friends. Like, dude, we didn't find a guy, but I found my best friend. And I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Network.
So many. I've seen these live mixers. If you're out there and you're like, I wouldn't mind if my son or daughter met an Indian person, this is your moment. Check out Mohan Matchmaking, check out the mixers. Anip is not in this podcast because he's my friend. I have a lot of friends. I don't invite them on this podcast.
Yeah, that's
He's in
definitely
this
true.
podcast because he is pioneering a beautiful new way of finding love, and we are such supporters of spreading goodness in the world altogether. Thank you so much, Anip, for making time for our family, unhinged family as it is. Just before you go, tell them all that I'm a normal mom like every other mom's in your roster. Just say it once.
Let me read the text Zarna just sent. Zarna is the best mom, and you guys for what she has done with your lives and your careers, and she is the best boss ever.
Thank you. Thank you, Anip. Yes.
That's
and
what I mean,
the
from
way
the
to
heart.
Sign off. Everybody say bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks for
Bye.
having me, guys. See you soon.
Bye.